Hello and a very warm welcome to the Wanda Diamond League live from the Olympic Stadium in Rome. The Italian capital has hosted countless major sporting events over the years, and although this meeting was held in Florence for a couple of years to allow for some structural updates, it's great to be back in a city renowned the world over and always welcoming to the world's best athletes who gather here once again. Plenty of action in the field here in Rome, and this was a little earlier on. We had the women's discus. It all really got going later on after 3 or 4 rounds of not particularly strong throwing, and Van Klinken, whose best throw had come in round 1, won the European Championships in this stadium last year. Only thrown, I say only 63.38, but found 65.77 in the 5th round, and that would be good enough to get her into the top 3. Ullman had gone a little further than that, was leading after the 4th round with 66.66, but the American Olympic champion in the 5th round with a best throw of the night, almost 70 meters. And I think here in Rome, that's a big, big throw. She was absolutely delighted with that, 69.21. Champions do what they do best, producing it just when she needed it. That's a meeting record, 69.21. Jaime Perez, former world champion. Again, late on in the competition, finding her best, 66.63. 69.21. Nobody, or none of these three were able to extend any further with one more throw in the 6th round.
And that's a nice win for Orman. 3 finalists from the European Championships, former Readers Hurdles last year. And there's the lineup. Cassandra Tate, bronze medalist in the World Championships back in 2015, goes on the outside for the USA, the 34-year-old. Rochelle Clayton, bronze medalist in the World Championships in 2019 and again in Budapest 23, was 5th in the Olympic Games last year, the Jamaican. She's in 6th, good lane draw. Folorunzo in her Polizia vest, the Italian there, listen to that roar. She goes in lane 4. Well, nobody really showing early on. And Clayton building a bit of a lead here, although Knight is matching her stride for stride, actually. These two first and second at the moment, they're left to picture in lanes 5 and 6. A lot of hard running has come from the others if they'd get back on terms with these two. Also good running there from Folorunzo in lane 4. Folorunzo in that wine red strip in 4, trying to come back at them. And now beginning to ease away is Andronette Knight as Rochelle Clayton's challenge fades there. 3rd from the front, leading at the moment over the final barrier. Andronette Knight, she's going to take this one by 3 or 4 meters. A strong finish from Folorunzo. Can she hang on 2nd? Yes, she does. And Rochelle Clayton taking 3rd there, just outside her. With that from Andronette Knight. Well, solid running, 53.67, the season's best for Knight. It's a little bit quicker than she ran in Rabat 12 days ago. It's going in the right direction. But she was tired, it has to be said, in Philadelphia last week. And when you think about, she's gone from the States to Rabat, back to the States, and then coming back here to Rome. That is a tough travel schedule if you're not an elite athlete, if you're not a finely tuned Formula 1 machine. But for these athletes, they are pretty delicate. That's a solid run from Andronette Knight. 53.67, the season's best. Folorunzo fighting 2nd, Steve.
There is Timothy Chariot. Reynolds is next to him, this very promising youngster who won his first 5,000 meters in the Doha Diamond League, just showing what strength he has. There is Chariot. He's a little nervous, but why not? He's always talked about Timothy Chariot being a hero of his. He's standing next to him. Now Habs went out really hard in Rabat. The Frenchman almost hung on.
Well, it's a big field. Thankfully, it seems to be fairly tidy at the moment, Steve, as they go through there in about 42.5. It's not super quick. I thought they ran that first 150 just a little bit slow. I'd like to see them about a 2nd quicker than this, although they are stretched out now. Timothy Chariot in 3rd place. He loves to front run with that forward-leaning style of his. 56.31 It's probably about a second slower than they would have liked.
Ronald Chariot, if he's going to get out of it, he's about 8th or 9th on the curb at the moment and doesn't look good. Moving a bit closer as Brian Coleman. Habs is there, deciding not to lead it like he did in Rabat. Wants to try and see if he can kick Filstrom, Giles, and behind him Asai and then Siate. Coleman moves out, Habs starts to look for it. Chariot decides the time is right to go. Farken tries to respond, but can't hold them off. Where is Chariot? He normally finishes so quickly. He's still back in 8th or 9th at the moment. Habs is there. Moving on the outside, Riva, the Italian in the red, is just in about 3rd, 4th, 5th place at the moment. But Timothy Chariot, can he relive some of the great glories of the past? Habs is with him. He's holding him at the minute. And now he tries to kick away again. It's Chariot versus Habs. Who's going to get to the line? It's going to be Habs. Eases himself ahead. Has he got it? Yes, he has. And there's the winning time, perfectly executed, 3:29.72, the fastest in the world this year. Timothy Chariot under 3:30 again, surely thought he had it, and you have to hand it to Habs. He got it wrong last week, he let it out, others came past him in the closing stages. This time, brilliant pacemaking, got himself close enough, as did Chariot, to work off that, and a good strong last 400 metres, and others were finishing, I'd say quickly. They were a good second or so behind these two, Tim, but some good times behind them. Shanika Ricketts has had her fair share. The Jamaicans, so experienced. Who's in great form, Ricketts, really is performing well, the Olympic silver medalist. .14.64. Okay, this is going to be a big night for the triple jump with Lafond, and Ricketts is seemingly jumping well. Triple jump for women, we had the Olympic and gold medalist in Tia Lafond, and indeed the silver medalist here, Tia Lafond. In the first round, set things off really nicely. Sadly for her, though, this would be as far as she would get. So Tia Lafond starting the competition, what appeared to be in a really strong way, 14.30 in round 1. Then Perez Hernandez had all started to struggle a little bit with run-ups, had quite a few no jumps, but then Perez Hernandez in the 3rd round takes it over. Oh, sorry, her best in the 3rd round was 14.46, so that would be good enough for 2nd place. Season's best, she won't mind that, doesn't really matter to her. But that was it, round 1, that was the longest jump of the competition. Good enough for the win, season's best, she won't mind that, doesn't really matter to her. 14.64, as I said, the winning jump, 14.46 for Perez Hernandez, and Lafont, 14.30 in 3rd place.
So Gabriela Leon, one failure at 4.65 for her. She cleared 4.35 and 4.50 first time. And that is nice, yeah. Pops over that one without any trouble at all. Leon, 2nd in the US Indoor Championships, and then 5th of those World Indoors in Nanjing. 3rd in Rabat in 4.63, and that's a slight improvement for her there. It's only a centimetre below her season's best, and that was indoors. That's her outdoor best for this year. Well, here's Morris, 3rd attempt at 4.80 meters. Now this would be a world best for this year, a world outdoor best that is, and gets it! And gets it, that for Morris. You can see what it means to her. She has been a superb competitor for many years. You think she was the silver medalist in Rio 8 years ago, and she's still going strong. She is one of that, and that takes her 2 heights clear from the rest. She was the only one over 4.75, now the only one, and again at the 3rd time of asking, over 4.80 meters. That is wonderful. Well, we go back to the track for what could be a very, very special race. 12.5 laps. It's the women's 5,000 meters. There is Chebet, tiny character. She's 5 feet exactly, 1.52 meters. Number 3 all time at 5,000. There's Nadia Battocletti, the Olympic silver medalist at 10,000. Fabulously consistent. 4 times European champion. She took double gold here last year at 5,000 and 10,000 in the Europeans. So away they go then. Big field, 18 athletes. Meeting record as the first target, 14.12. Well, Akidor dropped out after 6 laps. The pacemaker, 300 meters back. Chebet there to the left of picture, tiniest figure in the race, I'm sure. There was a noticeable acceleration, just stretched her stride out a little bit, and now she's trying to test Tsegay here, the world record holder at 1500 indoors. These five getting away. She can get stronger, she can get faster, and Chebet pushing on, and now Tsegay has hit the wall. In spectacular fashion, Tsegay has broken, and the third and fourth places going past her, Hailom and Hailu, and Chebet now, it's her against the clock. Well, I think Batakleti probably overextended herself for the first 3,000. She's working incredibly hard here. The crowd roaring her on, being kept abreast of what's going on there by the stadium PA. But Chebet goes through with 200 to run. Now she turns it on. Now she finds pace. Pace aplenty. She's a beautiful looking, symmetrical runner. Absolutely nothing out of place, so economical, and the gap looks back to the chasers, right in picture. She's extended it to about 125 metres now as she comes down the home straight. She's not going to break 14 minutes. That was the whispered hope for this evening, but it's still going to be super fast. Only Tsegay has ever gone under 14:05. She's now joined by Beatrice Chebet. An astonishing run, 14:03.69, the second fastest time in history. She misses that world record by 2.5 seconds, coming home with Batakleti striding away incredibly well to third place, cross the line now. That time from Batakleti surely will smash her Italian record. 14:03.69, of course a meeting record, a national record for Tibet for the Kenyans. But a new meeting record it is. 14:03.69 is special. It's a really solid time for a male. Fantastic. Now, here we go. Doroschuk needs this, or else he needs to clear the next height. He's led all evening with a perfect cut, and he gets it. He does the same as Wu, over a second time at 2:28, and back in front on countback. And Wu must be thinking, you are kidding me. Well, that's a fact. Doroschuk's clearance at 2:30. He cleared 2:28 second time. He pops over 2:30 first time. Back to first time clearances. Well, back to Wu then. First attempt at 2:32 in this high jump, and it's an enthralling competition, it really is. Had one attempt at 2:30, failed that, and he goes clear at 2:32. Oh my word. Well, quite an evening of competition, Steve, where we've not seen too many records in a meeting like this. With the history of this meeting, you don't get too many stadium or meeting records, but we have had one great contest after another.
2:32 for Wu, winning excellent high jump to finish with. We had some brilliant races here in Rome.
These fellas are heading for 400 metres, and what a spectacular race this promises to be. Kabena Shipi of Botswana, the 21-year-old, close to his personal best, was third in Jamin 6 weeks ago. There is the world number one from South Africa, Zakithi Nene, the 27-year-old, spectacularly running 43.76 in Nairobi on Saturday at altitude. Kirani James, the Olympic champion in London 2012, is still going strong. He won the Diamond League finals in 2011 and then in 2022 and 23, can you believe? Well, he seems to get away pretty slowly, does Quincy Hall in lane 6 in the white there, centre of picture. He's running a nice steady race so far. Doom's got some work to do, because Kabinat Chippy on the outside has gone off very fast, as well as Kithi Nene there. Although Quincy Hall has run really hard. After about 70 metres, he picked it up. And the Olympic champion from the USA, remember, who beat Matt Hudson-Smith at the death in Paris last year, leads at the moment, but coming back at him is Zakithi Nene, the South African going past him. Dobson running strongly for third. Kabinat Shippy on the outside coming down well, but it's going to be a dip at the line. Oh my word! Impossible to separate them there. Quincy Hall dipped. I think actually Nene dipped and then Hall dipped, and I'm not sure who took it. It may be that Hall will be given it. It was desperately tight. It'll be one of those races, and he has been. 44.22 to 44.23. Well, it doesn't threaten the meeting record of 43.6 by Jeremy Warriner from way back in 2006, 19 years ago now. But it was a fabulous race, as we expected. Nene, I thought, had judged it to perfection, easing past Hall about 30 or 40 metres out. But Hall Hull, as he displayed in Paris, Steve, when he took that Olympic title, just has this ability to dig a little bit deeper than anybody else and find another inch or two. And he's been given it very, very tight at the line. But Hull wins it from Nene. Kabinat Chippy, 44.5 in third.
We can see him wandering away in the distance in the yellow, and right at the other end of the track, the women out for the 200 metres. You can see their season's best is better than Amy Hunt. Now, Amy had such a good indoor season, the British athlete. She was expecting, I think, to run a bit quicker at 200 so far. Not quite happened. Marie-José Talou-Smith now, and always better at the 100 metres, but the athlete from Ivory Coast definitely got a chance here. But Anavia Battle, the one who's been in since scintillating form. They get away cleanly, and also running a brilliant bend is Talou-Smith. And there's all sorts of chances and opportunities here. Amy Hunt coming back into it, and now Battle just tries to push ahead. Talou-Smith trying to hang on to it. Hunt is charging, but it's going to be Battle who wins it from Amy Hunt, 22.53. She does get the victory, improves one from last year. Wasn't a particularly fast race. We really wanted to see the women getting down to the low 22s, maybe even under that. The meeting record is sub 22. That does stand to Sharika Jackson. But how can you argue with somebody who keeps winning 3 Diamond League wins in the 200 metres for Anavia Battle? For a little while looked as though, well, you can see there, Tim, looked as though it was a bit of hard work this time. This is Tom Walsh, the New Zealander, still in great form, and Walsh, that's pretty good as well, very close to 22 metres now. That would be as good as he's done all year so far. Pointing to the camera, so there you go. One or two of the big names have yet to really get their season going. 21.89 for the New Zealander, that puts him in an early lead.
Tommy Walsh out on top tonight here in Rome, the 33-year-old Kiwi. 21.89 for him. A new season's best by a reasonable chunk, improving on the 21.71 from a couple of weeks ago in Zagreb.
Well, that one continues. He's the only one with a clean sheet, and a clean hurdles race required here for all the men in the 110 hurdles. His personal best set in the Olympic semi-final. Now Jason Joseph, what can he do here? Most of his best races have tended to come in Switzerland, and nothing wrong with that. Can he do it here in Italy? Now, Dan Roberts, just a brilliant runner on his day, Olympic silver medalist. Tinch, as I mentioned, will start probably as the favourite, but watch out for Dylan Beard. Had a big win against a good field earlier in the season in Jamaica, and again, well capable of producing that sort of form. Need to perhaps run a bit quicker. There was a big headwind that day, maybe helped him. Really good conditions, it's still warm. Dylan Beard next to him, Cornell Tinch with some ground to make up here, and already Roberts just starting to fail, and here comes Tinch right through the middle. Beard is right with him. Tinch might just about get this, or will he? It's going to be tight on the line, because it was a fast charging Joseph, I think, who got up there as well. Well, photo finish. I'm not sure he outleaned Tinch in the end. Tinch perhaps not aware of him, but what a close run thing. Joseph, over the last 2 barriers, when Tinch looked as though he had it, pushed himself right into the mix there. Gonna take a little while. This one must be close for them to have a look at. Love to see a replay. And in fact, I think it's gone to Joseph. 13.14. That is a big, big win and a big time for him. A season's best, but one of his best runs ever. They give me into the same time. We'll have to wait for the thousands, Tim.
Tentoglu then, now 7.92, a modest opener from him. 8.27 this year, that came a couple of weeks ago in Cyprus. What can he do here? Improved. And improved by quite a chunk, yes. He's himself, Miltiades Tentoglu, and that is 8.10. That is better. That takes the lead. First 8-metre jump of the evening. Maybe normal service resumed.
Falani is the one who's stepped forward. Now, can he do it in front of his crowd here? 8.7 is best. He needs 8.10 to get ahead of Tentoglu. You're right. I mean, it looked as though it hit the sand a bit before that, but 8:13. It is an event of margins. He's scraped into the top 3 by 1 centimetre, and now he's only improved 6 centimetres, but it's enough to take the lead from Tentoglu, who cannot respond.
So Liam Adcock, and now we know Fulani actually jumped 8:23 if he was 10 centimetres behind the front edge of the board. Adcock with 8:07. Can he catch Tentoglu as well, or even Fulani? Oh my word! That's massive too. $8:34? You are kidding me! Wow! That's a new personal best from the Australian.
You missed the flip, Tim. He's becoming famous for doing that flip. There he goes again.
That's the second longest jump in the world this year, behind Fulani. Indeed, outdoors, it equals the longest jump in the world this year by E-Hammer last week in that multi-event contest in Gotsis. Back to the track, the penultimate race of the night, the men's 100 metres in the red here in lane 1. Emmanuel Aseme of Cameroon in solid form. He was 4th in Rabat, 12 days going 10:10. There's Trayvon Bromell, world indoor champion back in 2016 in Portland. Won the Diamond League final in 2020-22. His season's best on the 25th of May. This is his fastest in 3 years, 9:91. And there is Fred Curley, the world champion back in 2022 in Eugene. Took 3rd in both the 100 and 200 in Rabat 12 days ago. Big fella, 6'2", powerfully built. Courtney Lindsay goes in 6th. He's a better known as a 200-metre runner. He won the Rabat 200 and was 2nd in Doha a couple of weeks before that. The former NCAA champion at 100. He has run 9:97 this year. Ferdy Omanyala, the Commonwealth champion from Birmingham 22, in good form. Semi in 1, Tortu in 2, Hicklin 3, Bromell goes in 4, Curley in 5, Lindsay 6, Omanyala 7, Sonny Brown 8, Ali in 9. Curley in the white, in the black rather, has got some running to do, but Trayvon Bromell's running away with this one at the moment. Good running on the inside from Aseme, but Trayvon Bromell storming this one and destroying that field. And look at the time, 9:84. If that's confirmed, it's the fastest time in the world this year. Takes over from Ghana's Saminu, who ran 9:86 in Jacksonville, Florida, a week back. Wow! Trayvon Bromell was out of the blocks like a rocket. Now, I thought, Steve, in the blink of an eye, at the beginning, I wasn't sure there wasn't a full start. I thought there was a bit of a flyer there, but there was no second gun. I want to check who it was. Was it Bromell? Curley always strong out of the blocks, even though he's great at 100, 200 and 400. But Bromell has taken that field to the cleaners. He really has. It's been a brilliant, brilliant run. 9:84 for Bromell. It's a massive season's best for him.
Final event on the track. The women out for the 1,500 metres. Watch out for Sarah Healy. Big run in Rabat over 3,000 metres. Big personal best. Has had a great indoor season as well. Likes of Heather McLean, Billings. Susan Ejore, who I think is running so well, the American-based Kenyan, right in the middle there. Mashesha leading it, Bearhill on the curb, Ejore in a good place, and Noni pushing and shoving a little bit, and just moves Lizakovska, who's stuck on the curb.
Well, they haven't grabbed the opportunity here tonight. The pace-making really did set it awry, didn't it, the first couple of laps? And this is why it's anybody's race. I mean, there's 12 women and more there with a chance of taking this one. But, Steve, 1,200 metres now coming up. Ejore, who went with that early pace, has to be running on tired legs here. 66 that third lap, 3:13 at 1,200.
There are some big kickers in here, including Healy and Heather McLean on the outside. Billings is there as well. Zanoni's race looks as though it's done. The youngster Berhe is letting a gap develop, and it is Susan Ejore who's stolen a march, but Healy's chasing now with McLean and Billings behind. Has Ejore got enough? She's not always the quickest in the home straight. Has she gone a little bit early here? Look at Billings, looks strong. Healy looks strong. Caldwell finishing quickly as well. And Billings and Healy vying for the win here. But look at Caldwell, who's coming on the outside very, very quickly indeed. Can she get there? It's going to be Healy perhaps. Who's going to get it on the lead? Healy wins it. 3:59. A win for the Irishwoman, continuing what's been a brilliant 2025 so far. 3,000 metres and at 1500 meters, Sarah Healy, a Diamond League win for the Irish woman with the season's best, but it was the manner in which they sat off the pace smartly, too quick on that first lap.